Hello, Internet. If you're an artist or a creative person and you have trouble executing ideas that you think of that you want to make, you were never going to make that in the first place. If there's something that you feel really passionate about and you really want to make, there's not going to be any question of what to do or how to do it because you're just going to start doing it. Even if you don't have the exact idea pinpointed right away, you just have a direction, you're going to just start working on it. And if you're not just like inclined to jump on it and just immediately start doing it, it's probably not something that you feel that passionate about. Sure, there's some creative things that you have to plan a little bit and you have to kind of set things up before you can really jump in, but that's part of the creative process, is figuring all that stuff out. So if you're just sitting around kind of thinking, it's probably not something that you really want to do. And that's okay. You know, every idea you have is not something that you need to make. I think a lot of people struggle with this idea of motivation, or they struggle with this idea of not knowing what creative ideas to act on. They don't know what they should put their effort into. And my advice would be, don't put your effort into any of those things. Don't put your effort into something until you feel passionate about it. Don't make something just because you feel like you're supposed to make it. If art feels like an obligation, it's not going to be what it can be. It's not going to be the best that it can be. And I'm coming at this from the perspective of someone who wants to express themselves and execute creative ideas that they have in their head, not someone who's like doing graphic design for some corporation. That's a job. I'm not talking about creativity as a job. I'm talking about an individual person or a group of people, whatever it is, making art. Now, this is something that I struggled with for a while because it's hard to call yourself an artist when you don't feel like you have anything that you're really working on or anything that you've made that you can be like, look at this art I made. You know, like, I made this right here. Is it the most mind-blowing piece of art you've ever seen? Probably not, but this is a style that I've been doing for a very long time, and it's something that I get a lot of gratification out of doing. It's a great way for me to alleviate some anxiety. It's a great way for me to ignore my thoughts and just kind of focus on something. There's like a pattern and a formula that I follow. You know, am I a world famous fine artist? No, and I probably never will be, because that's not something that I'm pursuing actively as a career or something that I'm doing often because I feel like I have to. I only make these when I feel like I need to, when I really feel inspired or I feel like this is what will help me in this moment. It doesn't have to be complicated. It shouldn't be complicated. Honestly, nothing in life should be complicated. Most of the time, the thing that you're supposed to do is pretty obvious. That doesn't mean that you want to do it, and that doesn't mean that you're going to jump to do it, like I said, but you probably know what you're supposed to be doing. You probably know what you would prefer to be doing. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to do it and giving yourself the space to do it. And I know some people are going to be like, bro, I have a full-time job and I have a second job and I don't have time to work on stuff and be creative and make art. Okay, well, what's more important in your life? Being creative and making art, or eating food and paying your bills? You gotta be realistic about your life at some point, where it's like, if you didn't have a job that allowed you to exist, even if you're just getting by and just, you know, making the bare minimum to survive and eat and whatever, if you're doing that, then that's obviously the priority in your life. And you wouldn't even have the opportunity to be tired and make art if you didn't have a job that was letting you survive. This whole idea of the starving artist it doesn't exist. Maybe it did at one point, but it definitely does not exist in the modern world. If you're still a person who feels ashamed about having a day job and you're an artist, that's just, you got to get rid of that immediately, because that's not going to help you make art. If you are watching this video and telling yourself, I can't do this, my life is set up differently where I have literally no time to work on art, then give up. Why are you even bothering? You have to work to survive. You have to take your whole day. That is your situation. I don't know what else to say. If you think I'm coming off as callous or, you know, insensitive, I'm not making money from art. I'm not making any money from doing anything creative. I have a full-time job. That's how I make money. That's how I pay bills. That's how I have everything that you see in this picture is from a job that I had. For me personally, I make videos every single week because I want to document my life. I could spend more time working on my videos, and I could really try to engage a new audience and talk about things that I know people would click on, and talk about things that would be controversial to stir up drama so that more people would watch my videos. If you don't have a vision of your own and you're just talking about other people, then yeah, that's what you got to do. But I'm thinking about this YouTube channel as a very long-term thing, literally my entire life. As long as I have the ability to record and upload videos every week, I'm going to do it. I've been doing it for over 3 years. It's an archive of my brain. It's an archive of my life. And that's the kind of drive that you need to have in order to execute something that you're thinking of. If you just have a cool idea for a painting or a cool idea for a short film or a cool idea for a movie, but it doesn't you don't feel it here, then you're never going to be motivated to do it. That type of thing might be rewarding still. Like if you're like, I don't really want to do this, and you force yourself to do it, that still might be a rewarding experience, but you don't have to do that either. I think a lot of people overcomplicate the process of creating because they want to give themselves an out when they don't succeed. I'm telling you right now, don't even bother trying to succeed. Just don't bother. There's so many factors that are out of your control. Like I have no control of who watches my videos. I upload it, and then if you guys like it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't. That's it. It's really that simple. Anything that you make it. If people like it, they're going to tell you. If they don't like it, they're going to tell you. If they like it, they won't tell you. If they don't like it, they won't tell you. You have no control over how people react. So why are you making something for other people? Make it for you, because that's all that really matters, right? If in the short term you make things that other people like, but you don't like them, down the road, you're going to regret that decision, and you're going to stop doing it anyway, and you're going to fall off, and you're going to lose viewers or whatever, you know, like, or you're going to lose fans, whatever you want to call it. So you might as well just do what you want to do and be satisfied within yourself and let the other shit happen naturally. Let it happen as it's going to happen. Because again, you have no say in what happens. All you can do is make shit and share it, and that's it. That's my belief, at least. So I don't mean for this to be discouraging. I mean for it to be encouraging of you to live the life that you actually want to live, which most people, that life is surviving and getting by, which most people, in order to do that, you need to have a job. I know this is not some like romantic video where you like, maybe you're not leaving this feeling super inspired to like pursue your art or whatever, but I'm telling you, like, you don't need to do that. You can just make whatever you want and just be okay with the life that you have. And that's not being complacent. That's not being comfortable. That's being realistic. If you're the type of person that likes to struggle and you're willing to take a huge risk, like quitting your job impulsively, to pursue something that you have no traction for currently, you're going to do it no matter what I say. And that's the thing. Like, whatever you think you should be doing, you're going to do it anyway. It doesn't matter what anyone says. And that goes in both directions. If you're like, I really think I can do this, I'm really passionate about this, I'm really going to pursue it, and nobody thinks you can, it shouldn't matter. You should do it anyway. And the opposite is true. If you're like, I definitely can't do this, I really don't believe in myself, I really don't believe that I can do this, then you're not going to do it. It doesn't matter what anybody says, you're not going to do it. You have to be motivated within yourself to do things, or else you will never do it. And that applies to everything, not just creative stuff, but like, I'm coming at it from from an art perspective. So make sure that you're surviving, live the life that you want to live. It's really that simple. That's it for this video. See you guys next week.